This is a Jmix exclusive.
All right, headline, folks. Tupac's gonna be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Brooklyn by Snoop Dogg. Just gonna let you soak that in for a minute. Now, as expected, this has caused a little bit of a stir in the Tupac community. I've asked a couple people, reached out to a couple folks that I know to ask their opinions of it, and the grumblings are loud. And I don't want people to accuse me of making another Snoop slam video, so I'm just going to lay out a couple facts as I see them and as I know them and ask you, the viewer, what you think of this situation. As it's been reported by TMZ, Tupac Shakur's induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame next month will be a mini Death Row Records reunion, because Snoop Dogg's leading the tribute, and we're told Dr. Dre is on the wish list too. They have sources that say the plan is for the performance to feature a mix of 3 songs performed by Snoop, with California Love being one of them. Now, at this point, it's only rumored that Dre is going to be there. And I can't help but think about the Tupac hologram when I hear this news. And the backlash that it got from the Tupac community about Snoop and Dr. Dre using Tupac to further their own careers. It's not my opinion. That was the opinion of others. I'm just putting it out there. Now, I guess the question would be, why Snoop Dogg? You know, I guess to the younger audience, when people think Tupac, they instantly think Dr. Dre and Snoop and Death Row, and we understand that. Some people have said it's natural. Some people have blamed low ratings for the previous inductee ceremonies. But no matter what it is, this is a controversial decision by them. Because, as we all know, it's been reported several different places that Snoop and Tupac were not even on speaking terms when Pac died. I mean, we have even Snoop telling the story of being on the plane with a knife and a fork, scared to death of Suge Knight and Tupac and any kind of backlash. And he said the last conversation he had with Tupac was, "Hey, are you gonna be in Vegas?" And Tupac wouldn't even talk to him. So that also brings up another question, that does death absolve people of their disagreements? It does beg that question. Just because they weren't on speaking terms when he died, after death, do we give beef like that a pass? It's hard. It's a hard place for a fan to be, because I got love for Snoop Dogg. But I'm also quite surprised that they didn't pick the Outlaws. People like Atron Gregory, Yasmin Fula, Gaddafi's mom, even Gloria Cox. I believe Kristen Parkis, and I hope she doesn't mind I'm shouting her out, she even said that Jada Pinkett would be a good pick, and I absolutely agree with that. You know, you have people like Tretch that are out there right now that would love to do that. I think that this is a commercial decision, and I feel that I don't know if it necessarily alienates Tupac fans, because I believe that Snoop Dogg will bring an audience. And if Dr. Dre shows up, that's going to be a big event for them. And the bigger the event, the better for Tupac. But with this revelation, people like Yasmin Fula have said they're not going now. And Yasmin Fula was very close to Tupac, his aunt in many ways, and was in charge of his euthanasia company, what he was going to use to split off from Death Row. Like I said, this harkens back to the hologram controversy. Several key figures in Tupac's circle are kind of upset about this. Even Atron Gregory, Tupac's first manager, the guy who had to put up with the headache of Tupac. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but, you know, when you're grooming an artist, you deal with the poor artist, you deal with the hard-headed artist. And there's a lot of people out there that spend a lot of time working on Tupac, like Layla Steinberg, you have Shock G. There's a lot of other people they could have chose from, and I'm thinking that this choice is purely for ratings. But I kind of want to know what you guys think. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know if you think that this is just being overblown, that people just should forget about any beef that Tupac had with Snoop, or if you think, just let sleeping dogs lie. I'm really just doing this video to find out what your opinion is. And I want to say that I think that Atron Gregory did say it best, and he wasn't trying to make a big public post or a spectacle about it. But I want to read you a quote that he said. Basically, what Atron had to say was that, even though he doesn't know anything about Pac's and Snoop's relationship at the end, he doesn't speak on that, and he doesn't want to get into the social media war words. But what he did say, that he was happy for Snoop that he has the honor to present the award, because it is an honor to present that award. But even he would prefer Shock, Tretch, Jada Pinkett, Money B, Mopreme, or even someone else who went through the blood, sweat, and tears with Pac, and who can truly communicate Tupac's journey to the audience because they lived it with him. And I think that is one of the greatest points that I've heard. And when you're alienating people like Yasmin Fula, who was there for Pac through the ups and downs, I don't know. I think that this decision for ratings is alienating the base. But that also begs the question, is Tupac's core audience who they're trying to reach? I mean, it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't even think the movie, the All Eyes on Me biopic, that they're trying to reach Tupac's core audience. I think they're trying to bring Tupac to a newer audience, and it would absolutely make sense to bring Snoop Dogg in on this. Like I said in this commentary, I'm going to keep my opinions to myself. And I have a lot of love for Snoop Dogg, so I don't want it to get twisted and anybody think that I'm slamming it. I'm just questioning it. And I want to quote you one more quote by someone who's close to Tupac, and this one is from William Lassane. He said that it was about publicity, that the family, they had no say in this whatsoever. William Lassane is saying that the family has no voice at all, that none of them have been invited to speak on behalf of Tupac, that it's disrespectful how they're being played under the phony disguise of tact and diplomacy. He's pretty much saying that everybody's unified by the lack of respect shown by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So, it does appear, at least to William Lassane, who's Tupac's first cousin, Yasmin Fula, who's Tupac's aunt, and Atron Gregory, who is Tupac's first manager, that this is pretty controversial to them, because they feel like they're being put on the back burner, and Tupac is not going to have the proper voice for him. And like I brought up many times in this video already, it reminds me so much of the hologram that it almost looks like an exploitation of Tupac. So what do you guys think? Are they just trying to bring this more ratings? Are they trying to reach a younger audience? Do you think that they're intentionally alienating the family and Tupac fans? Please be sure to leave a like, a comment, whether it's good or bad, and tell me what you think. I posted this on my Facebook, and it has many responses so far. It's blowing up, and I just wanted to know what everybody out there in YouTube land thinks. And no, for the record, this is not a slam Snoop Dogg video. This is simply me just asking a question. I want to let everybody know that the family is kind of up in arms about it. I think that it's a controversial decision that they made. I think maybe it's ratings motivated. But I guess the real question that I have is, does animosity between people stop at death? Does death wash away any problems that you had with somebody in life? And do you feel that Snoop is taking advantage of that fact? Because I can't take away that was Snoop's homeboy. There is no doubt in my mind that Tupac and Snoop were homeboys at one time. But it's like Nutso said in a previous upload and interview that I did with him. When you got someone new coming into a house that you built and they're shining, there's gonna be some animosity there. And we know how Tupac reacted to Snoop getting on the radio in New York City talking about the love he had for Puffy and Big and how he would do a song with them. We know the fallout happened. We know the division in Death Row. So I appreciate everybody checking out the video, listening to me ramble and such like I have been. But let me know what you think. Was this a good decision by Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Or is this move all about money? I want to hear your voice, Tupac fans, and I'm going to catch everybody on the next upload. One love, everybody.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?